So I'm out here at H&M, one of the cheaper retailers. We're gonna look at some clothes, see how much they cost, and see if we'll be able to do any better at a thrift store buying used stuff. So yeah, let's see how much stuff costs. Something tells me this wasn't exactly trademarked. Just find it crazy how this one can be labeled as such, just a nice simple power battery backup for a computer. Even the big one down here. Well, this down here, same company, same product basically. This one has gaming on the label, which means they can charge a whole lot more than they could before. Marketing, the fact that people fall for this is amazing to me. Just left the mall, right over there. If you can see it, I'm just in my car so people don't stare at me for filming in the middle of the mall. Try to avoid that as much as possible, but I remember reading on the sheet we had saying, part of the whole challenge to avoid over-consuming was to avoid malls and stuff and to avoid the will to spend. And I guess me coming here kind of felt like a test to my willpower to see how much I was able to resist spending. And I was definitely tempted by a few of those items in H&M. Some of them were looking pretty cool, but I figure I'll be able to get something pretty similar at a thrift store for a much less price and after the week's over. Anyways, so yeah, it's going well so far, and hopefully we can keep staying strong and avoid spending. So we have arrived. We're right outside Value Village. I'm about to go in. I think the goal today is to try to piece together an outfit from stuff I just find at Value Village. Just to try to show how really easy and versatile it is, and how new, actually, I guess, some of the products are there. Yeah, so let's head inside and see what we can find. It's actually even H&M branded, $8.99. Looks like it's never even been worn. Someone just took it and donated it seemingly right away. Looks like someone wasn't too proud of their graduating year. $6.49. You too can be a Charles Best graduate. I mean, come on. Where else would I be able to find something as beautiful as this for only $3.99? Keep this out of landfills and put it in your closet. So if we were to start off with a shirt like this, I mean, it's pretty simple, plain, it's a nice name brand. This probably would cost a lot more than $5.49 new. And given the condition it's in, it's pretty nice. I think this will be a very good baseline for the outfit we're trying to create here today. Nice summery look, pretty cheap, good quality. Next to the second most important part of an outfit, the pants. As you can see here, got a nice tan pant. I have no idea what brand it is, but it doesn't really matter too much. $9.49. Good condition, tan pants, they'll go lovely with our red top. The shoe selection is admittedly harder, but I believe I have found a diamond in the rough down here. We have some Adidas Superstars. They appear to be in relatively nice condition. Maybe just need some new laces. Go well with our outfit, and they are only $15.99 compared to their $100 and something price tag new. I'd say that will definitely fit in nicely with our look. And of course, what is a summer outfit without a nice accessorizing hat? And look here,
Here we have a nice bucket hat. I mean, it barely looks like it's been worn, maybe a few times. No idea what the brand is, but at only $2.49, it's pretty hard to go wrong. This will pair nicely with our outfit and definitely give it a bit of personality. So unfortunately for me, I couldn't really find anything that wowed me or really made me want to add it to my wardrobe. So it's a bit of a bust in that sense, but I hope I was able to give a better understanding of how really versatile and easy thrift stores can be. There's really this stigma, I think, around thrift stores that kind of people don't really like buying used things or things that other people have worn, but as I think I've shown, they're perfectly good things that you can definitely help keep out of landfills just by willing to sacrifice a bit of actually nothing really. I can't really think of anything that you're sacrificing in buying used. Yeah, so I hope I've kind of destigmatized the thrift store a bit for you.
All right, Maddie, so where are we today?
We are right outside of the Salvation Army thrift store right here in New Westminster. We're gonna head in, see if we can piece together an outfit for pretty cheap, and make sure that it's clothing that won't let up in a landfill that otherwise would. So let's get in there and see what we can do.
Second use clothing, let's go.
What are we trying to find here?
Good clothing, or nice, affordable, cheap clothing that we can wear.
And what do you think the benefit of shopping at a thrift store is? Like, what environmental impact would that have? Or lack of?
Well, then there would be less clothing that would have to be made because we're able to reuse clothing, and people are able to maximize the benefit out of, for example, this shirt.
It's a good shirt.
Yep.
All right, so let's see what we can find out through here. We got lots to look through.
Yep. Oh, whoa. Look at this polo I just found.
Wow, polo. You just found a polo shirt in a thrift store?
For $8.
$8, not bad.
You can get a little horsey on here. Not that bad.
That's not that bad. Think you're gonna get it?
I don't know, it doesn't look used, to be honest. It looks pretty new.
That's alright.
There's no sweat stains, nothing.
That is always preferred when purchasing clothing.
Yes, so we'll see.
We'll see, alright.
So, because we found this polo, I thought maybe we could put an outfit together. So I found this super cool jacket that's actually in great condition also, as you can see.
And how much is it?
They're asking only $20 for it. What a steal if you ask me. Look at this thing. Great condition.
Not even a scuff on there.
No, I can't wait to try it on.
Yeah, let's see what the whole thing will look like. Yeah, it'll be good. Evan, it would appear we just witnessed a miracle. Would you tend to agree with this statement?
As it seems, the school is following us everywhere we go.
Even out to New West?
Look at
The
this.
Riverside Rapids sponsored bike t-shirt thing?
Long sleeve turtleneck.
I don't think that's
thing,
something you're gonna buy particularly, but
but it's there.
exactly, it's here. Riverside Rapids. Wow, we're at the nation. Beauty. All right, so Evan, you think you got everything you'll need to get a complete outfit going?
I think I'm pretty set.
All right, so we got your pants there, some nice corduroys.
Yep.
And we got your polo shirt there, your sweater.
Nice. There we go. That's
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a good
polo
one.
with a little horsey.
Gotta have a little horsey.
Alright.
And the jacket to top it all off, so nice and fresh. Keep the whole outfit together. All right, I like it. Let's head over to the dressing room and see what we can do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you took it off the hanger? That is a rookie mistake, my friend. All right, I was hoping to get a dramatic scene of you walking, but now you're just taking stuff off hangers.
Start slow motion scene.
All right.
No, we're not doing that.
And out we go.
All right, so Evan, what'd you think of that thrifting experience? Love going thrift shopping.
It was fun. It was an amusing time. We got to go through the little trenches, see what we could find. I found a few things, but sadly the red polo didn't fit too well. And the jacket was very good condition, but it's just not very versatile in this heat. So
Yeah, very true.
I felt like it wasn't worth really purchasing. But I did get the pants. I thought those were kind of cool, so I'll be holding on to those for a while. You know, better giving it to another person than throwing it away or just not giving it any use. So I thought it was, the whole idea like of thrifting is super cool when you think about it. How people are able to come in and, you know, for cheap and for a more affordable way are able to buy clothing and be able to have an environmental impact. Don't mind the noise. That's much minor than what it would be to buy brand new clothing.
How do you think the experience compared to like going to H&M or something like that, you know? Of buying just new clothing?
I think the experience is pretty cool. It's very unique.
Different.
Yeah, you don't find the same brands, or you don't find, not everything is in perfect mint condition, so you know, sometimes you really have to go and dig through everything and find something that you might like. But it's true that there is good things in there, so you just have to put in the effort and get a little elbow grease.
You can definitely find some more unique things I found than you could at like H&M Say or something like that, you know? Definitely some unique treads and some patterns and some materials and stuff.
That's true.
That if existed previously that kind of fell off, you know, in popularity.
Yeah, for sure, because a lot of these like big stores like H&M and those kind of things, they sell things that are just fast trends and things that go out of fashion very fast. But here you're able to find things from, you know, from 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
I've seen stuff from the 90s, 80s.
Exactly.
Yeah, it goes back.
So you can find anything that you're really looking for here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a cool experience. It requires a lot more digging than going to the mall would, but if you're willing to do it, I'd say it's definitely something that's worth it, because you can definitely find some gems like those pants, which you wouldn't really find anywhere else, really.
That's for sure.
All right, so.
All right, well, we'll keep looking then.
We'll keep looking.
We'll be on our way.
I just actually caught myself doing something pretty interesting. We're just here at Shoppers Drug Mart trying to get a drink, and I was going through the stuff, and you know, Coke $2.49.
Sorry.
Come across Frisk. I'm like, wow, it's a liter for 99 cents, and that seems like the most logical option for me, even though I don't really want lemonade. Just the fact that it's cheap and a lot makes me kind of want it. So consumer has definitely created a lot of waste from this. We desire cheap things, and even if it's not what we want, we'll buy it.
Very true.
All right, Evan, so where are we right now?
Right now we're entering Treasure Chest Thrift Store.
Hopefully you're gonna find some treasures in the old chest.
Yeah, we'll see
maybe,
what we find.
As the name goes.
Our luck is good.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's see what we can find. Let's get a nice shot of you walking in.
Yep.
Well, I like that. That was cool with the shirt.
Cue the slow motion.
Oh yeah. I think I got you a hat, Edvin.
What does it say? Maybe not. Maybe next
You're not
time.
an Oh My Dance guy.
Maybe another time.
I took you as an Oh My Dance guy. You thought that was gonna be a Make America Great Again hat or something, did you? Alright, and we got a nice artsy wall to fill on even. This is seeming like it's destiny. So what'd you think of Treasure Box?
Alright, well, all in all, we didn't really find much. It's a little
No.
smaller than we expected. So
Quite small.
Pretty bare. Bunch of random stuff that we didn't really find, but there's something for everyone in there. So if
Except
anyone's-
us.
Exactly. If anyone's looking for an Oh My Dance hat, got it
We
in
found
here.
the place. Yes.
Yes.
Thrifting is like finding a treasure. It's like going to a garage sale. Sometimes you'll find some pretty neat stuff, but sometimes you hit a bust. And this
Yeah.
time we have hit a bust, and that's okay. We'll keep moving on,
Exactly.
moving forward.
Yes.
Let's
All
keep
right.
going. So me and Edvin, we've set ourselves a challenge, haven't we?
Yes.
So basically, what we're going to try to prove how like versatile thrift stores are and how easy it is to put together an outfit. We're going to each have 20 minutes to put together an outfit from just stuff that we see on the shelves over here, and we're going to try it on and see, I guess, who wins. We'll know who wins, right, Edvin?
Yes.
All right. So I guess 3, 2, 1, let's go. feeling this. This could go somewhere.
This is the secret aisle. This is where I get all the best stuff.
Moo.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a little rough, but
It's hit or
you
miss.
can find some. Oh, look at this. A Portugal T-shirt. This could go somewhere.
This could be going somewhere.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'll hold on to that. We'll see what it does. Oh man. Oh my God, this is This is coming an outfit now. All right, Mike. So what'd you get?
First off, you have to start with the accessories. So I got a Trafalgar. I think that's an okay brand. I don't really know much about bags. It's a bag. And next, you're coming through with this beautiful long sleeve shirt. It's a long sleeve shirt. I don't know what else to say about it. With these bowls, these are like Canadian branded, so I'm assuming they're like, they have to be pretty good quality, right? These like burgundy pants, I think are kind of cool. So we're gonna try this on, see if it goes, and we're gonna beat Edvin.
All
That's
right.
what's gonna happen. Oh me, oh my, so what is the cat dragged in today, Edvin? Show us what you got.
I went for a little more casual look.
Mm.
Got the sweatpants. Hold on.
You're gonna catch something trying this on.
But then, what if I gotta work out? I got my workout shirt too.
You have to.
And then, but it gets cold outside, so the Nike windbreaker. This is the whole fit.
How much is the total cost of yours?
$4, give or take.
I don't know. That's more take than it is give, I think.
No, it's pretty cheap.
All right. So Evan, explain to the people what you got going on here.
Oh, you can see my little light. In case I ever gotta start working out on my way.
Mm-hmm.
Got the workout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So this is Evan's outfit.
Strings are a little messed up. But
A little messed up. That's okay. All right, Edvin.
You got what do you have?
That's very true. All right, all right. You can stop talking trash now. I'll go change out. We've seen what Edvin's had to offer. Judge him as you may.
All right, Maddie. So run us through your fit.
So basically, we got this nice vertical striped shirt. You know, vertical stripes very thinning, very good pattern. I'm a fan. And,
Yes.
Very light, very comfy. These
Makes
pants,
you look very thin.
quite tight. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
But it's
they
okay.
look
I
quite
wear them
tight.
for about 30 seconds before I can take them off. I love the color though. Looks very cool. The material's nice. And bag for, I don't know, looks mostly. It's about it. I think it looks cool, and I think it definitely beats Edvin's. What do you think?
It looks okay. I mean, I don't get the whole bag thing, but
That's okay. You don't have to get it. I mean, it's a lifestyle.
okay. So what would you like to tell the people watching this? What was the point of all this?
About all this, so
Yes.
I'd say it's just to try to show how accessible and easy thrifting can be, and how good you can look on a really minimal budget. Because this was all like less than probably $40 total, right? I mean, and I look very presentable, I'd say. So I mean, yeah, you can definitely do it, and it's quite easy, quite accessible, and you can have some fun and some save the environment even. So it's all good. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think a good example would be how different our fits are. As you can see,
Oh,
mine
yeah.
was very much more for the comfier fit, more exercise type of thing. Yours more formal attire type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's just cool to see how people are able to put their own spin off on
Exactly.
the clothing. All right, cool.
Alright, so what I guess I was hoping to show in going to all these thrift stores and shopping around is, thrifting really, going to thrift stores and buying secondhand things really does have a big environmental impact. Not only is everything you saw in that store things that will not go in a landfill and just rot, you know? It's a new item that you won't have to take off the shelves that will wind up in a landfill, you know? So it's definitely a double whammy, I guess, if you will, in that sense. And that if people are willing to change their consumer habits to be more open towards buying secondhand things, because I know they're pretty heavily stigmatized, right? Like you definitely noticed that too, Edvin. I mean, people have there's a stigma around buying things that are, secondhand. And if we can get rid of that and promote people buying things that have been previously worn or previously owned, we can keep a lot of goods out of landfills. And if we change that consumer habit, we can definitely do a lot of good for the environment. So I guess kind of that's what we're trying to show, to try to remove the stigma that things are always dirty or ugly or old or worn. I mean, that's not really true. I mean, we saw a ton of really nice stuff in there, some really brand name stuff too. And yeah, I guess that's really what we're trying to show. So hello, I am here today joined with
Hi, I'm Elizabeth from Shaggy Dog Grooming.
Elizabeth, and she has been a dog groomer in the Poco area for how long would you say you've been in business?
It's going on 5 years now.
5 years, okay. And just to get a general idea of the volume, how many dogs would you say you groom in a given week here?
Well, I work at a secondary location as well, but here I probably average about 8 or 9 dogs over a 4-day period.
Oh wow, so that's definitely quite a big volume. And you have your collection of various fluids over here.
Yes.
What are all these? There's obviously some shampoos, I'm guessing. It looks like there's some barbicide in there.
Well, yes, there's barbicide for cleaning. There's various blade care products. There are colognes for spraying on after. There's various types of shampoos depending on my needs. Hypo, smelly, medicinal. There's a matte dematter spray. There's all sorts of products.
Is that Dawn dish soap back there? It's for like greasy dogs?
Yes, if you believe it or not, Dawn, as the commercial does attest, they're quite good for if you've got very greasy animals. To
Like
use.
those ducks that get in oil slicks you see in the
Exactly.
Gulf or whatever on
Yes.
those commercials.
I don't use it very often.
No, I can't imagine.
Don't have that bad dogs, but yes.
So basically, that's a lot of fluid you'd have to buy, you know?
Yes, a lot of individual products.
And whenever one of those would run out, I'd assume you just have to order a new one and recycle the old bottle,
Yes,
correct?
Well, yes. Some of the ones that I use on a very regular basis, I buy the extra large size.
That is quite a large one, yeah.
That does dilute down, so it lasts me longer than one of the smaller bottles.
Yeah.
Yes.
So does the environment or environmentalism come at all into play when you're purchasing your supplies, for example, or even in your practice at all?
I mean, other than recycling the empty bottles, I don't really think about it particularly in that respect.
So what's the main, when you're buying those products, what would you say is the main buying force, like in deciding what you're going to purchase for you?
Well, I try and buy a high-end product so that it's a good quality product. Price can be a factor, but generally I have a particular brand I like, and that's usually what
you're loyal to?
Stick with, yes.
So would you at all be open to, if an option were, say, more environmentally friendly, would you be open to, say, changing brands? Would that be something you'd be interested in, or are you really dedicated to what you're with?
I am dedicated to what I'm with. If the company that I prefer were to start giving me an option to be more environmentally conscious and easier going on the environment, then it's certainly something I would think about, yes.
Well, are you aware of what will happen to those bottles? Because you know you recycle them, obviously.
Yes.
Are you aware of like what the process that happens after they have been recycled?
Well, once they go into the blue bin, I can't say I think about it all that much.
Kind of out of sight, out of mind type of thing?
Pretty much. I mean, I'm hoping that they are reused in some fashion.
Yeah. And they are, except I believe the caps, which cannot be recycled. I believe those will just end up in landfills. I believe.
Really?
From what I've heard, yeah.
Oh,
So that's not all that fun.
no, that's not good.
And the bottles, I believe they can be, they're not, for say, upcycled. Like, they will not become new bottles. They will be used in some other less precise
Yes.
way, but they, in general, will get reused.
Yes.
But it is still a problem that some of them, probably will end up in landfills and all that, unfortunately, just as a result of the system.
Yes.
So what I'm proposing is I have actually found a company that is able to refill many of the products that you have over there. In researching, it does cost a bit more than what you currently are using, but would this be something that you would be open to trying in the future?
I think if the product were on the same level as what I'm currently using. If it was a good quality product, I don't mind paying a little extra
Yeah.
if it cuts back on sort of the environmental damage. For sure, that would be something to think about.
So would you say that in knowing the recycling process and being more familiar with that, that would change at all your perspective on being able to try different products?
Yes, if I knew more about it as opposed to just tossing it into a blue bin.
Yeah.
And if I was actually made aware of how little actually gets reused, like if the caps aren't being reused and the bottles perhaps aren't being made into anything much after they've been
Broken down. Yeah.
I don't like to think of things just disintegrating into the earth. So
Yeah. Because it's that idea, once you throw it away, it's kind of, like you said, out of sight, out of mind, and people don't really realize the process that goes on after that,
Yes, exactly.
Yes, so what I'm proposing we try is maybe just for a bit we can try the other product, see if you like it, and maybe document the results after, if that would be agreeable to you.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Sure.
So
Be willing to give it a try.
that's awesome.
Just give me the information and I'll look into
Sure.
it. And
Yeah, thank you very much for your time and your willingness to participate in this.
you're very welcome.
And do catch up soon.
Okay, thank you.
Well, today marks the last day I'll be able to buy stuff for the next week, so I decided to end it off on a good note with a Java chip Frappuccino. Funnily enough, the lady actually gave me 50% off for no particular reason other than she liked me, so it kind of feels like this is society's kind of pulling me towards, no, don't go over to the dark side, spend more, everything's so cheap.
So I am joined again by Elizabeth, the dog groomer here, and we're just going to do a follow-up on the product which we had originally proposed to her as a replacement for her normal shampoo. We had found a company that would be willing to use a refillable bottle like the one set out there, instead of having to constantly ship out new bottles and having those be recycled. So I remember last time I was here was one of your biggest complaints about, or shall we say, not complaints, but concerns, thank you, about the new product or replacing your current product would be the quality. So did you notice, how did the quality of this product of the reusable compare to the one of your disposable? Was there a big difference, or?
Not really. I found the cleaning quality of the product was just as good. The fragrance was a bit different, but that's okay. I mean, every company has a different scent. And yeah, the dogs came out, they were clean, the coat was fairly soft. I didn't find a huge discrepancy between what you found me and what I have been using.
So just based off quality, you'd say you would be comfortable purchasing the product again?
Yes, I think so. Especially since, it really, well, this is one of my small bottles, but if, I'm using one of my bigger bottles, it
close that up after a few weeks, It
does.
So how fast did you go through that small bottle of shampoo there?
This was probably within 4 days I got down. I didn't have a huge number of dogs this week, so this one.
So it really burned through quick. Like, it definitely adds up the amount of bottles you would definitely have had to use for shampoo.
Yes.
So one of the main differences with this product as opposed to your old ones is that you would have to drive to the store to have them refilled instead of having them mailed to your house. So this is obviously a bit more impractical, but do you think this is a sacrifice you'd be willing to continue to make in order to make a bit of having a bit of an environmental impact, I guess, in the good direction? Do you think this would be something you'd be willing to continue to do?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I do have to drive occasionally to various stores to pick up other types of grooming things. Scissors, get them sharpened, my blades have to get sharpened, and I have to really I have to get in the car and go and do that. So adding this to the list of when I'm running around is not a big deal.
So it's not too far out of your way anyways to go do, especially if you can get like a bigger volume of a container.
Yeah, I mean it's out in Surrey, so it's if it was downtown Vancouver, I might not be going. But it's not too inconvenient as far as getting there. So
yeah. And convenience is obviously a big factor in whenever you're purchasing a good. And I know personally I've been susceptible to choosing the easy way out instead of choosing the way that may be a bit more environmental. So in say the span of a month, how many bottles would you say you'd go through of shampoo that you just dispose? On a normal basis, just
the
average.
smaller bottles
Yeah.
that I have, I probably go through in a month. I would probably go through about 2 of those a month.
And there's quite a few dog groomers in the Lower Mainland, are there not? I mean, that you know of.
Yes, there's quite a few of us, yes.
And I'd imagine not very many of them are doing the refillable bottles.
No, most of them will buy the very large 2-gallon, I think it is, product and use that.
So this is definitely something that could really add up, I mean, in terms of waste.
Yes, of course, yes. Over time, it really would. If I were to buy refillable shampoo in my own bottles, that would make a big difference for the environment, yes.
And just from your personal view on the industry, just in general, I know you've worked at a few shops, do you think they would be more willing to approach a product like this, like beyond your personal experience? Like, what do you think the industry would think of that?
A lot depends on, I think, on the bottom line for
so
a lot
money.
of shops. Yes,
Yeah, of
money
course.
unfortunately can trump the environment. But I think there's a large proportion of people out there who are concerned.
Yeah.
And if the company were to provide like a delivery service to the shops to save people having to go running around, I mean, that would certainly, I think, cause a lot of people who work in shops to try the product.
Yeah, definitely. No, there's definitely enough demand for environmental change. I think the markets will be more than happy to fill that demand. It's just, I think, a question of, like you said, convenience and money at this point. So, yeah, I guess I'd like to thank you very much for your time and your willingness to go out of your way to purchase this product and to help us out with our project. And so thank you very much for your time, and I really do appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
And now, as we near the end of the documentary and of our experience, I guess I'm starting to reflect on everything that's happened and would I've done anything differently over the course of my time investigating our consumer habits. Well, recording in 1080p would probably have been one. The quality as I look at it, it's a bit lacking. But other than that, I mean, was there anything I would have done differently? And I mean, I don't really know. I feel like I learned a lot over the course of filming this documentary, and I know my group did too. It was really quite eye-opening to actually be introspective for a change and to look at what you do as a consumer and how even you on an individual level can affect the environment. And when a whole group of individuals, like we saw with the Elizabeth and the dog groomers, I mean, that can really start to add up into some big environmental impact. And if enough individuals are willing to start making a change, some huge advancements can be made towards environmentalism. And these changes could come from anywhere, from just simply reducing the amount you buy to changing your buying habits to maybe include secondhand goods like we tried to demonstrate through thrift stores. I mean, these changes could really come from any number of possibilities, and the ones we highlighted are just a few. For example, like my week without spending money. I mean, it's definitely a challenge to do, and that's not realistic. But in doing that, it just shows how much we're able to cut down on our spending, and we're still
able to live. I mean, even as I look throughout my room, I see countless things that I regret buying. Follow me, indulge me for a second. I mean, down here I've got this weight set, right behind my desk that's really never even seen much of the light of day. And I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but I've just never wound up using it. I mean, and as I look around, there's so many of these things like that. Like that longboard, I mean, as cool as it is, and I think it's pretty cool. It makes a cool decoration piece, I'll give it that, but man, it was expensive and it was a waste of money because I never even wound up riding it. And even as we come over here under my desk is the most expensive footrest I think I've ever owned, is this mini fridge down here. I mean, that was also an expensive mistake. And yeah, this documentary has really given me a chance to reflect on my consumer habits and our consumer habits as a society and how much we can change them and still maintain a high quality of life, which I think is most people's concern with alternative buying habits, is maintaining their quality of life. And when you stop to think about your purchases and really consider their impact, and maybe even are willing to go out of your way or go out a little out of your comfort zone to achieve a better environmental footprint, I mean, changes can be made. And that's kind of really the most eye-opening thing for me, I think, throughout this project, is that we tend to think that as individuals we are powerless and that all change has to come from government policy and regulation on like mining industries and whatever, but a big amount of change can really come from the home and from our own consumer habits. And like I showed with Elizabeth and dog grooming, I mean, if enough of those dog groomers start using that reusable service, we'll see a significant reduction in plastic bottles being used and thrown away. And that's just one sector for one product. I mean, you multiply that across the amount of people and the amount of sectors across, I mean, really the amount of change that the individual can do is pretty astounding. And I think that's the conclusion that I've drawn from this project, is that the individual has a lot more power than I had previously considered. And it's been a really eye-opening experience, and I hope that through my documentary, even it can inspire even more change, I guess, is the main goal of doing all this. And yeah, I guess that wraps it up.